Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Uh, this is second part of chapter 2, information system in organizations. In the context of organizations, innovations are new ideas, new ideas uh, for creating, developing, and implementing of new product, service, or business activities or processes. It acts as a catalyst for the growth and success of the organization. What do you mean by catalyst? Catalyst is a in chemical terminology. Catalyst is a substances which will boost the reaction, which will speed up the reaction. So this will help. Innovation helps organizations for speed up the business process. Okay, for business services, activities, and creating a new products and services. It also helps for cutting edge of products, such as increasing the new revenue streams. I mean, creating a new revenue streams, more profits, increasing the profits. There are different types of innovations. First one is sustaining innovation, disruptive innovations. Sustaining innovation results in enhancement to existing products, services, and ways of operating. Sustain means supporting, assisting, helping innovations. These innovations, mostly the existing products, can be enhanced, okay, in different ways. The services and the ways of processing, operating, the way it helps organizations. For example, if you consider a Tide company organization, detergent company, this is detergent powder company for washing the clothes. So this company basically was providing a detergent powder for washing clothes, right? So as long as they during the competitive advantages, right? In market there are different types of detergent powders. So to sustain their innovation, they innovate new varieties of Tides, like different, adding some perfume, scent, smelling, and more concentrated detergent Tide for automatic machines, manual machines, different types of varieties they produced by innovating different services and creating the new products of Tides. So this will because in order to be growth in the market of to attract the more people, customers, so they had to be innovative. Okay, so this second one is disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation is one that initially provides a lower level of performance than the marketplace has grown to accept. Initially they have very low acceptance. These kind of innovations are very low acceptance. People are not attractive. They slowly accept this, whatever the change done in the organization, products, services, and operations. So slowly they can accept the changes. Example, you see cell phones. Initially the cell phones are very big, huge one, okay, very costly, and less RAM, less processing, not just a simple program based. Now people very hard to accept because very costly at that time. Now due to the invent of technology, innovations, okay, they have now very smart telephones, everyone can afford. It's price, less price, okay, more features, less price. Okay, so this is disruptive. Anyway, this slide is not present in your uploaded slide. This is just for information. What is the difference between sustaining innovation and disruptive innovation? The next definition is re-engineering and continuous improvement. Re-engineering is a process design, a business process redesign, BPR. It is the definition is a radical redesigning of business process, organization structure, information system, and values of the organization to achieve a breakthrough, significant change in business results. So every organization has business processes, means business activities, structure of the organization, information system of the organization, that is main database, networks, whatever the technology they are using, and the values of the organization, and the values of the useful informations to achieve a breakthrough. So these existing process, products, services, activities can be redesigned. This re-engineering is redesign this one. So to achieve a radical change, some significant change in the business, that's called business re-engineering. Redo the work so that it has some significant change in the business results, right? Some significant change should be done throughout the organization, process, structure, information system, okay, any one of the components of the organization. There's another improvement called continuous improvement. So this is a kind of routine work and a kind of enhancement to the existing product, service, process, that add value to the product, and which will meet the customer expectation. Okay, this is just a simple continuous improvement, daily routine work. So let's see the differences of this one later. So let's see what's engineering, how it will define pictorially. See, this engineering is, it has a business process, is business activities, business transactions, redesign the whatever the activities you have. For example, to accomplish a task, a simple task, you need at least 7 steps. So you redesign such that at least you reduce the number of steps, optimize the steps. Instead of 7 steps, you reduce to 5 steps. That is called redesigning. Okay, the business process, the activities, operations, changing the structure, removing unnecessary layers of the structure. Like we in the flat organization, they remove the unnecessary managerial decisions. So you can remove some, you can change, amend some organization structure so that it will affect the whole overall organization. That's affecting, that is changes information system, bring new systems, new technology, new hardware, new software, new database, okay, new system analysis. So changes should be done to the information system, means whatever the information you have, apply some new techniques, analysis, ideas over this to change this information system, as well as changes to organization values. What are the values you have, how it will be useful, the values of the organization for making decisions. So this is re-engineering process which will apply all this, all are interlinked. Okay, the next is we'll compare the business process re-engineering, BPR, and continuous improvement. BPR, see, the strong action to solve serious problems. Business process re-engineering is considering the overall organization change, changing the overall organization process, overall services, overall a broad view of all services and products of the organization. Continuous improvement, whereas, is routine action to take minor improvements, not the overall big picture, a small part of the organization. This is top to down change driven by senior executives, experts, senior people will execute this and will follow up and coordinate and control this business process re-engineering. It is bottom to up. It's, workers, employees, operational employees, mostly they will suggest for any change because they are the people who are mostly involved in operations. So these people will bottom to top. Broad in scope, larger in scope, okay, cut cross departments, means involves in all the departments. Narrow in scope, limited to the department, within the task, mostly within the task. Okay, so this one, the achieve major breakthrough. Here the main goal of business is major, means it has some effect in the result, business results, maybe the results of customer satisfaction, results of decision, profit, revenue, okay, quality. That's a big breakthrough, a significant change. Here it is, the change is continuous, gradual improvement, little enhancement, okay, better advancement. This is often led by outsiders, maybe outside experts may be required for this to change. It's not as simple to change the whole organization business activities, so it might require some outside experts or companies to involve in changing the business process, usually led by worker. This is within the organization, people who are within the organization, they have their experts, experience, skill, new ideas, they can use this, they can lead, improve the business activities over there. Information system is integral to the solution. Means here information system is act as a part of the solution, integral to the organization. Here the information system helps provide services. Okay, this is one thing. There's a difference between these two. So let's see furthermore, organizational culture and change. So what is mean by culture? It's simple. Culture of okay, culture is simply can say is a word, the way of life of group of people, how they are living, how they are communicating, behaving, their behavior, their understanding, their assumptions. Okay, that's a culture. The way of life, the meaning of their life. There are here in the culture is set of major understanding and assumptions shared by group of people, communities. Okay, culture of the example, culture of Saudi Arabia, culture of American, culture of Asian countries, African countries. There are different cultures. Everyone has different. They have different behavior, their language, their beliefs, their understanding, their assumptions. Everything is different. That's a culture. So this culture similar to this one. Every organization has culture. Okay, how the organization is working, how the business is carried out, what products and services are there, how they are communicating within the department, who are the people, how they are communicating with the suppliers, how they are communicating with the customers, their understanding, their communications, their belief, their assumptions. That's the organization culture. In other ways, you can say organization culture is defined as the underlying belief, assumptions, values of interacting that contribute to the unique social and psychological environment of an organization. Okay, mostly understanding and assumption for a business, corporation, and other organizations. That's organization culture. There's another term, organizational change. Organization change refers to the process of changing the organization strategy, business change. You require the change the organizational products, organization process, organization technologies, organization culture in order to meet the customer expectation, beyond the customer expectations. So this change is required. This change is based on BPR, based on continuous improvement. So this organization must adopt changes. This is the flexibility of organization, must adopt changes to the new ideas, new products, new customers, to stand in the market against the competitors, right? So it must handle the change. It must, because organization organization is group of people sharing, okay, a common objective, or having information system, right? So this information system helps to adopt the changes, and the people has to adopt the changes in their culture, services, activities. Okay, so what is a change model? How to change the organization model? So model is, they define a model to change. Simply you can say a simple example is given. Okay, so the best way to implement this change here is three stages. In the three stages for approach of a change: unfreezing, preparing for change. For example, you want to change the culture or technology or activity or service or product, first unfreeze. So you prepare for the change, means analysis. You first go for analysis. Does it require any changes? Does it, means based on the feedback, based on the environment, you have to, you think this requires a change in the process. So that's process called unfreezing, preparing for change. You are supposed to change now. So after you unfreeze this one, then you move, make the changes, whatever the changes you required. Now change the changes, first open it, then change it, then refreeze it, then refreeze, make a new institutionalization the change. Example like the ice cubes. This theory is called Levin's change model. Here we have an ice cube. Okay, so this is unstructured, not properly, it requires some changes, based on the feedbacks. Okay, experts are innovation, new innovations. So this needs to be changed, so it should be unfreeze first. So then after unfreezing, it should be in processed, under process it will be refreeze, so that it will be useful and a new format, new look, new things, right? As an example, a Tide detergent, it was before a plain powder. Okay, a plain powder to clean the cloths, to wash the cloth. Now they have added perfumes, they added some odor, smell, again concentrated, different varieties, different shapes, different colors maybe. So they have different varieties, they are producing this following this change model. So every organization must adopt changes. Okay, so there is another theory, okay, to define the organization system, called a Levitt Diamond theory. Levitt Diamond theory, it defines the organization systems as consists of four main components. A system, organization system consists of four components. What are the components? A people, sorry, people, task, activities, operations, group of people, group of tasks, transactions, activities, processes, structure of the organization, and technology they are using the organization within an interaction among the four components. Any change done in this four component will reflect the other components, elements of the organization. It is represented in the diamond shape. They are one diamond completely. Okay, so people, attitudes, behavior, culture, you can say reward system, they have skills, they have this is a culture of the people, and the skill, knowledge, roles, responsibilities. Okay, information system, what information system consists? Hardware, software, network. Okay, the next task, tools, machines, standard measurements, procedures, techniques, structures, rules, responsibilities, authorities. Okay, this is the one more definition, or definition according to Levitt Diamond, the organization system. What is organization system? It is consists four major elements. Any change in the people, system, hardware, it will reflect the flow, it will reflect the responsibilities, it will reflect the people. Okay, so any changes in one element also reflect in the another. It means everyone has to adopt the change. So this one, learning, what organization is learning? Adaptation and adjustment. Adaptation and adjustment must be, okay, learned by the organization elements. Okay, so the people, mostly the adaptation adaptation based on experience and ideas over the time, because as long as competitions or technology is going, days are passing, okay, new things are innovations, new in the market are coming. So the organization must adopt and adjust to those changes. Okay, based on the experience as well as new ideas over time. The people who are working in the organization, they come with new ideas. Okay, new way of solving the problems. Okay, based on their knowledge, based on their experience. So the organization must adopt, again they adopt the change based using the BPR or continuous improvement strategy. Okay, adjustment can require re-engineering, and also continuous improvement. Okay, so innovation, because these changes are coming from what the effect of innovations. So according to E.M. Rogers, a theory, he described a theory, explained the theory of new ideas, a product gain acceptance and diffuses. Okay, diffuses means spreading. Okay, spreading through a specific population or subset of an organization, because an organization is a group of people, a population, simply is called population. As whenever a new product, a new thing, a new innovation is, okay, created in the organization, it will diffuse, it takes time to diffuse into the organization, it will spread in the organization. Explain graphically, explain beautifully. See, there are, if you consider 100% of people in the a group of people in the organization, there are some innovators, 2.5 innovators in the organizations. They have innovate some new products, new service, new technology, new culture, new process, anything they adopt, they create new things that will reflect everyone. So there are only few person, they are early adopters people, they are leaders, they are leaders, they are opinion leaders, you can say. They are leading the expert peoples, they adopt the changes, they adopt these persons are adopting 13.5 percentage out of 100. Okay, these persons early adopt, they are very quick, they are very quick and fast to understand the technology, whatever the new innovations. They are again second type of percentage of people, a subset of people of the organization, 34 percentage, they are early majority, they are opinion leader, they follows these early adopters, they seek some feedback from these people, train from these early adopters, and they will learn the technologies. Again, there are some late. Some people, they will not adopt the technology, they will not understand. So they maybe they will adopt very, but very late. Okay, they still follow the same early majority. They will learn from this feedback. Again, it takes time. This, why they are late? Because they need some training, they need some skills. They are not able to convince. They are not convinced with the new technology, because they don't want change. They don't want everything. They want, okay, with work is going simple, no need to change. So it is very hard for them to understand, for new things to adapt. Okay, so this is adapting. Whenever the market new things, they have to, and the late people will adapt bit lately, because they understand very late from early majority people. They are opinion leaders, they will provide opinion, this is good, they provide training, feedbacks, everything. The last one is laggards. Laggards is people who are very stubborn. They don't want any changes, but at the end they have to be changed, to be sustained, to adopt the change. But there are 16% people in the organization, they can, at the last people who at the end they will convinced to adopt the changes. This is a division. Innovation division is simply, in terms, you can say, how the technology is accepted in the organization. People how they are accept the new things, new ideas, new product, new service, new business activities. Okay, this is how they are establishing. Some people accept very quickly, some little bit early, little bit late, and they are very late. This is called innovation diffusion, spreading the innovation in the organization. Right, there is another term we used in mostly the quality. As I already explained the beginning of the slides, information system in organization helps to produce high quality of products, okay, beyond the expectation of the customer. Customer expects something, you can exceed the customer expectation, okay, with the help of information to produce such kind of products. Okay, so there are many techniques to maintain the quality of the product and improve the quality of the products. So many management quality, there are just some basics, terminologies we have, definitions, not in detail. What is a lean enterprise management? They use this techniques. Here the technique is it is the thinking of the technique is, whatever the resources in the company which are not meant for providing service to the customer are considered as waste, and that therefore they will eliminate, it will eliminate. For example, if there is a resource, any resource which is not considered any value to the customer, those resources not considered as a useful, so they will eliminate this resource. That is called lean enterprise management. They are completely lean towards the customer. They see customer, what is the requirement of customer, this customer requires so and so product, so and so quality. So what are the resources the company has? These 10 resources, out of 10, 2 resources are useless, so no need of these 2 resources, 8 resources can help to ensure the quality of the customer, like this. So a philosophy, a thinking that consider the use of resources for any purpose other than create value. Okay, any resources which is other than creating a value to the customer, consider as a wasteful, and therefore it target for elimination. Means no need, they will remove this one. So that's called lean enterprise management. They are removing some unnecessary resources which is not required for the customer. That's it. Now total quality management. Total quality management describe management approach, okay, for long-term success through customer satisfaction, satisfying the customers. Okay, it is for long time, like improving the process, efforts, products, services, culture. So it will consider the long-term organizational success for satisfying the customers in terms of services, products, and culture of the organization, any process. Okay, just like a continuous improvement, both business process reengineering helps to maintain the quality here. Okay, there is another quality technique is Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a method that focus mostly by understanding of changing the customer requirement, improve the business system, quality, delivery. Mostly customer always thinking about the quality, delivery, reducing the price. They want less price, and they don't want any defects, any mistakes, any wastage. Okay, the cost is reduced, and performance will be more. So these techniques follow some measurement based strategy to improve those processes and reduce the variation, the complex of through the Six Sigma projects. There are some Six Sigma is very big long theory. They just we need a definitions to understand these things, right? So this one maintains the quality to satisfy the all customers, right? Another terms of organization is outsourcing and offshoring. Outsourcing long-term business. For example, the business an organization having a business of buying and selling the products, making the products, right? After making the products, they will sell the products, right? After selling the products, um, they had to provide service to the customer. So in order to providing services, they will get the service from another company which will provide services behalf of this company, like mostly call centers. Call centers provide services to your company, to your customers, right? So they are very experts, call centers as well as security. Okay, for example, GIC requires security systems, so they will contract another company, those who are expert in security, providing security. So those people worked in your organization on behalf of you, on behalf of this GIC. So GIC has no employees for security personnel. They have been contracted to outside. It's like a private company, other companies, maybe another government company also, mostly private. So a long-term business organization which a company contracts services within outside the organization. They are the outside organization that has expertise in providing a specific functions like customer service or security service. This is usually to control the cost, as well as to control the cost of service, as well as to satisfy the customer and to focus on the core business. Instead of focusing on complete services, they will focus on creating a quality products. The service quality will be maintained by another outside organization. And what is the term offshoring? Offshore outsourcing. The service is located, same company is located in a different country other than the obtaining the services. Okay, the service is located in different different country than the firm obtaining the service, right? For example, you have branch in another country. Okay, you have company here, any company located in Riyadh or in Jubail has another branch in another company. So their company, they are providing services from outside, so they have good opportunity, maybe have some cheap services over there, new technologies over other countries, so that will help organization, okay, to provide such services. So other than your country, they have services from other country. Next terms is downsizing. Downsizing is nothing but right sizing or downsizing or minimizing, reducing, same thing, reducing the number of employees to cut cost, right? So employees, more payment, more maintenance. So company has to bear all these things. So company will decide based due to the innovations, new technologies, artificial intelligence, data centers, data scientists, okay, and Internet of Things, as the new technology, new emergement, robots are doing the task of 10 people, okay, at one time. So it will reduce the number of employees. There is manpower will be reduced. So this will reduce to cut the cost. So indirectly it will increase the revenue of the company. So this is called downsizing and right sizing. So reduce the numbers, firing some employees from the, okay, organization to cut the cost to cost of products and service and productions. Product quality and employee morale can be suffered. Sometimes it will affect the company of quality, product quality, as well as some morale of company. Okay, morale of the company, organizations. There is the most very important topic is competitive advantage. How this information system helps organization to stand in the competitive, provide a competitive advantages over the competitors. Because nowadays you have many competitors, they are producing the similar products, similar services. So how this information system for any organization helps to sustain their business, to help their business to continuous growth, effectively run and provide services to the customer continuously without any disturbance upon beyond their expectations. So competitive advantages are ideally significant and ideally long-term benefit to a company over its competitions, right? Competitive advantage. Firms means companies that gain a competitive advantage often emphasize the alignment of organization goals and information system goals. So provides the goals of this one. For example, he's given this example, different companies who how they gain the competitive advantages. You can go with this one. I just say a simple example. I'll explain this one. This is just for knowledge, okay, not for the exam point of view. As a Gillette is a company, you know, everyone knows, shaving product, okay, develop advanced computerized manufacturing system to produce high quality of products at low cost. Because day by day innovations, they are using computerized manufacturing system, means automated system, information system, so they can produce high quality of products. Previous Gillette are now coming to the today's Gillette. You see, observe the differences. You have different, okay, different service, different products, and the price, okay. uh, the next thing, so the factors that leads firms to seek competitive advantage. What are the five? There are five key factors, okay, that seek the identify the competitive advantages, like rivalry among existing competitors. Rivalry means opposition, you can say competitors, competition, you can say competition, opposition, okay. That's a rivalry among existing competitors. Competition among competition among existing competitors. Thanks. Threat of new entrants. Threat also means any kind of which is might cause a loss to you, a damage to your company, damage to your company. That's a threat, okay, of new entrants. In any new company join the similar products with similar products and services other than your services, products and services, a new competitors, I can say new competitors, joining a new competitors in the market. Threat of substitute products, okay. Substitute means similar products, substitute means similar products, and so damaging, causing damage and risk associated with the similar products and services. That's a threat. Threat is nothing but a simple related to risk. The bargaining power of buyers. Sometimes buyers, customers will have more bargaining power, you know, bargaining, right? So the bargaining power, and the bargaining power of suppliers, those who supply the raw material to the raw. These are the five key factors that affects the competitive, that stand for the competitive advantage, seeks competitive advantages. So let's go one by one in details. Rivalry among existing competitors means the competition among the competitors. How? Because everyone using what the here the companies or industries are looking what are the assets, assets and resources of an organization, how the organization using their resources, assets, technology, what technology they are using, what are the innovations, what are the techniques, what are the customers they have. So there is a competition among this one. They have innovated something new, so let's innovate by ourselves, right? So different innovations and adaptation of new techniques, okay. So they have to be aware of which industry, what are the resources, what are the assets they are, how utilizing they are, okay. So that's rivalry among the competitors. And we have to analyze everything over there. The next one is threat of new entrants, means entering a new competitors in the market. Entry and exit cost to an industry are very low, okay. Technology needed to start maintain the business is commonly like threat of new entrants. Like example here, because nowadays technology is available to everyone, it's free, everyone can buy and start the business, right? So it's nothing hard. So this is one of the reason you will find a new opponents in the market. With the existing one you will find another new opponent, because technology, everything can be available, okay. So entry and exit is anyone can enter the market, anyone can leave the market because the technology is available. That's information technology, you can say. Substitute products means similar products. Okay, the more consumer can obtain similar products and services that satisfy their needs, the more likely firms are trying to establish competitive advantages. Example like Tide. I'm using a Tide detergent powder. Now, if I find something not satisfied with Tide, I will go with another Omo or Ariel, different, because I found the similar specifications, similar features, similar things, and another products, similar products. Maybe sometimes less cost, maybe offer. Okay, so maybe some more discount. So this is what competition. So how this information system to analyze all these things to sustain their business, to retain their customers. They should not lose the customer. Once the customer lose, khalas, they will lose the business. They will lose the profit. Another thing is bargaining powers of customer and suppliers. When the customer have a lot of bargaining power, companies increase their competitive advantage to retain their, means company use this competitive techniques to retain their customers when they have bargaining power, like offers, discounts, they want more. Okay, so to cut the cost, so they need to increase the competitive advantage to retain their customers. So then what is similar to the customer, bargaining power of suppliers is strong. Okay, companies need to improve the competitive advantage to maintain their bargaining position. So maintain their suppliers, because suppliers provide the supply to the raw material to the organizations. So what are the strategies to attain, to get competitive advantages? How do you gain the competitive advantages, okay, over the competitors? So let's see, cost leadership. Cost, no need to go in detail about this one. Just say cost leadership means maintain the cost of the product as much as low, because if you increase the cost of the product, customer, you lose the customer. So cost leadership should be maintained based on the requirement, quality, and company, okay, policies and structures, methods. So the next one is differentiation. Always come up with a new type of innovation, new type of product, change something, apply some changes, adjustment, improve the your product, some different. Make sure you have a different product than your competitors. Okay, maybe a color, maybe a perfume, maybe a variety, maybe a concept. You just do whatever, some changes should be there. You should look different than others. Another is niche strategy. Niche strategy means attract this small group of people, mostly a village, town people, go far, very far people, those who are living very far from the cities. Okay, apply those, means they are people who don't know, you should go there, you market, you sell, you advertise, you promote your products. So that's niche strategy. Use some strategy to promote your advertise your products and attract those kind of populations in located far from the city. Altering the industry structure, try to change the structure of industry, plan, okay, strategic partnership with the business partners. Do some changes in the structure. This is like simply a business process re-engineering. Creating a new products with the help of innovations. Create a new products. Try to create a new thing, new invention, products and services. Add some new feature to the services, right? Services, like example, you're providing services for 8 hours, now we'll make 12 hours, means you add some services, more services to the services. So this products, you give some 15% extra of quantity, whatever, new products or new flavors, okay, varieties. Okay, the creating, then improving the existing product line services, means processing steps of new service, improve the processing steps. Next is other strategies. There are many other strategies. Just read this one. Growth in sales. Increase your sales. Number of sales you must increase. First in the market. Make sure you always produce your product first in the market. As long as the product created, first publish in the market. Promote, right? Because you first in the market, your products available in the market, people will buy the product and then you become the customers. Customizing product and services. Customize means changing the product based on the requirement to the customers. Customize, changing, most adaptable, flexible. Hiring the best people, bring the best people, specialized expertise, okay, innovators people to the organization, okay. those who people in best in information analysis will get the job definitely. Okay, next things have an agile information system, long life information system, good software, good hardware, good technology. Okay, and which can be changeable, adaptable, flexible. That information system should be there, because information, because software industry, hardware industries are keep changing. So you must have a industry which accept the change, right? Combining two or more strategies, do combine all the strategies, whatever the strategy you want to combine all the strategies. These are the different strategies to attain the competitive advantages. Hope you understand this chapter, and best of luck for you guys. Okay, read this chapter inshallah, read one by one steps. If you have any questions, please contact me through email. Once again, I'm announcing, send your send section number and id number along with your email.